Good evening everybody, it's your pal Martin Mellett here. Hope you're going well. Just had some nice spa facilities in my bathroom. It's not really a spa, but just making sure I exfoliate my skin pretty well and give my hair, in style of drying leg, the light, a good wash and dry. It's not wash my hair that often. Tonight we're going to be talking about the type of discrimination and lack of opportunities I have received in the United Kingdom since 2015 and onwards. Now let's just say you are born in a foreign land. You're not born anywhere in Europe. You are not born in the United Kingdom. You're born in the United States of America, or you're born in Guyana, or you're born in Singapore, or you're born in India, or you're born in Australia, or you're born in New Zealand, Tuvalu, or even Japan. If you had a mother or father who was born in the United Kingdom and or is a British citizen, you automatically have the right to become a British citizen. You have the right to move to the United Kingdom, and you have a right to gain employment under any restrictions, because once you obtain a British passport, it says on that maroon, blue document that you are a British citizen and you have the right to live in the United Kingdom, and you have the right to obtain a national insurance number and NHS number, and you have the right to work in the United Kingdom without any restrictions whatsoever. In my case, I was born in Australia in the mid-1980s. My father was born in Middlesbrough in Yorkshire in 1949. He left England in 1971. He came to Australia. He met my mother, who was a New Zealand citizen. For many years, I've always had a dislike towards Australia. As a white person, I kind of believe the Aboriginals should be in power. And when I was 25, I basically said, I'm going to become a British citizen, and sometime in my life, I'm going to leave Australia, because I hate the living hell out of it. I don't like it. I don't want to live in this country for the rest of my life. And on the words of my father, he said to me when I was 28, going on 29, he says, "You should F off out of Australia and go to London. Live the rest of your life in London. Don't live anywhere else in the United Kingdom but London. And if you are to die in London, I'll be very happy for you." So, this is what I did. I got on a plane to Malaysia. I stopped off to visit my good friend, Bishop Murphy Pakim, who was the Archbishop of Kuala Lumpur. A Catholic Archbishop of Indian descent in a Muslim nation. How amazing. I had a good weekend hanging out with him in Kota Baru at the very top of the Malay Peninsula, and we got to drink alcohol in a Chinese restaurant. The only part of Kota Baru we could drink alcohol. So I left behind Malaysia after a weekend there to Vietnam for a few hours, and I flew on to London. I stayed for a couple of days with my cousin Charles before he moved out of his West London flat, and in a few days I went from London to Dublin by land, and then I came back to Birmingham on the weekend. So my main aim was basically to move to Birmingham, get a job, start paying the British government the taxes, start contributing to the national health system, start getting my medication for free. And I basically just went out of my way to apply for certain types of jobs, just all types of jobs in hospitality. I had an interview with Hilton Hotel, and that didn't go down too well because, of my lack of team activity, so I swore my head off at them and I told them to F themselves. And then, later on, the story was I got a job offer, but then I turned it down because I didn't like the people I was working with, and I was also really sad because my mother in Australia was going to have a heart operation, and I had to go back to Australia to look after her. And then, the story was I came back to the United Kingdom in April 2016. I was dicking around because I was really bad to my pig housemates I didn't like. So for 2 months, just waited around for this Kingdom concert, and after the concert I left, went back to Asia, went back to Australia, lived in Melbourne. So this is what happens, I moved back to Birmingham in January 2017, and I do the same thing. I move into a property and I start looking for jobs. The first interview I got was at this Korean restaurant, and the Korean woman there was asking me why did you move from Australia? And I was really baffled. I could have basically said an honest answer saying I hate Australia, it's a shithole, it's full of foreign people who push, native people around. It's disgusting. She had no decency to give me a rejection letter. Stupid. So then I apply for JSA benefits, and as I'm waiting to be accepted, they send me to a pub, the Halfpenny Inn, and this dickhead manager called Richard, he sits me down for like an interview, and I tell him how good I am as a waiter, how I've got 3 years of experience, and he asked me the stupid question, why did you move here from Australia? I didn't be nasty, I basically said I like the United Kingdom, it's a much better country than Australia. I could have also just said that I'm sick of British people coming to Australia taking like Aboriginal people's jobs, and British people should stop coming here because it's colonialism, it's imperialism. And so this asshole, pardon my language, Richard, he wanted to give me a kitchen porter job. A kitchen porter job I did for 5 years before I became a waiter. He had no decency to send me a rejection letter. So, months down the track, I basically chucked the spaz at these people. On Facebook, I told them how xenophobic you are. I said, you do not ask people who migrated to the United Kingdom why they move here. You don't ask British citizens born abroad why they want to live in the United Kingdom, because literally, you don't work for the Home Office. You don't work for UK Border Force. You don't work for the police department. So it is none of your business. I mean, if I was like a refugee, if you said to me, oh, why did you flee Gaza, or why did you flee Somalia, or why did you, as a Boer South African, leave South Africa, I would have bitch slapped you in the face saying, you're racist, you're wrong, you're stupid. And then so, I got a job. I basically got this job at like Berry Recruitment, and it was a 0-hour contract, so horrible. Having to travel from Birmingham to Stafford every day just for 4 hours of work. And then on the job, I deal with xenophobia because I'm from Australia, and they just make stupid shrimp on the Barbie comments and all, and they ask me like why I'm here. And so this person on the job is basically, every time he sees me, he asks, well, is there a bomb in your bag? And so I slagged this person online. I basically said, you are a dumb bowl of beast, chain-smoking, fish and chip eating sack of shit. You're basically just a racist white British person insulting another white person because of his nationality, because of his place of birth, because he wasn't born here. Sooner or later, I left that job. The last job interview I ever went to in Birmingham was at the Harbour One Kitchen, and the owner had to be a complete nitwit, asking me, oh, why did I leave Australia, or why did I come here? And I just said the same thing again, and then he said, oh, people in Birmingham go to London for work. Look, my resume specifically states that A, I'm a British citizen. I could show you my British passport on arrival. If getting to the place, I could prove to you all the businesses that I've worked for, that I've stayed there long enough. Because you literally think that I'm gonna be a Australian-born British citizen who's gonna come to the United Kingdom and not stick it out. I've been here now coming up 6 years, but even though I've not spent a whole 6 years in the United Kingdom, I've had my same job in London for 4 years. So, what I want to say to a lot of people out there in the United Kingdom, when you are going through somebody's resumes, don't judge them because they were not born in the United Kingdom. Don't judge them because their resume also states British citizen, even if they've never worked in the United Kingdom. Don't judge them if they've done 15 years in Canada and they want to come to London for work. Don't ask stupid questions why they left their country of origin, because it's none of your business. Look, I mean, if somebody from the Commonwealth who has a British father, if they apply to the British Embassy in the home country or High Commission for a British passport, and they come to your restaurant with that document, you have to respect them as a British citizen. You have to ask them what makes you a good person to work at this business. You don't ask them personal questions about their age. You don't ask them why they left their country of birth. You don't ask them, why did you emigrate? Because it's none of your business. So, I've just ordered a copy of To Serve With Love, and this is a guy called Braithwaite, and he was born in that flag right over there. That's the flag of Guyana. He was born in Guyana, as was a British colony. As a British citizen, he came to London to do, an engineering work. But because of his race, because he was not born in the United Kingdom, he was discriminated. So he ended up becoming a teacher. And that's how you got To Serve With Love. And at the end of the movie, To Serve With Love, he rips up his job offer for this other thing because he wants to stay on as a teacher, to teach these people in a really bad school like a future. So anyway, I want to say to all the other people out there in the world, alright, if you are of British blood or you had a British mother or father, you can come to the United Kingdom because, let me tell you this, there is a space for you amongst the 66 million. So even though, you may have to deal with some jokes about being Canadian or being Australian or being a Kiwi or being a South African or being, West Indian or whatever, you just have to give those people who mock you the middle finger and tell them to shove it. One time I actually went to the police station in Wolverhampton because somebody on the bus told me to go back to Australia, and I wanted to report it as xenophobic, because basically a white British person telling a white Australian person to go back to his own country. That's not nice, that's xenophobia. Even though the following week at the police station, the police officer was like, so you're saying to me that was a homophobic abuse at you? I said, no, I'm not gay, I'm metrosexual. It was xenophobia because he was mocking me as I wasn't born in this country. So anyway, I'm Martin the Metalhead. Take hold of the flame. Stay strong, everybody. Fight racism, fight imperialism. Give the middle finger to the racist idiots who won't give you a chance. Over and out.